You want to make the most of your limited practice time, and there are a lot of useful apps out there which can help you make your guitar practice more fun and more efficient. The one that is maybe the most useful and a little bit overlooked is in fact free and already on your phone. My name is Larsen, learn jazz, make music. If you think it might be fun, then try to leave a comment now and guess which apps I'm going to be talking about, especially the one that I think is the most useful, because probably you didn't think about that one. I also have an app on the list that I actually don't like, but it's still useful and is still on the list. The first part of this video is on the 5 apps that I use, that I have on my phone. And then at the end of the video, I also have a few recommendations that are really solid if you want to work on specific areas in your playing. It's always good to have a backup tuner if you forget yours or lose it, or if you need to just pass it to a student in a lesson. The one that I use is called The Tuner and it's free. There is a premium version without all the ads, but since I use this more as a backup, then I didn't check out what that actually does and if it does it really well beyond just removing the ads. My impression is that there are a lot of different tuner apps out there and they're all really good. They do pretty much the same thing, but they do that pretty well. And having a free one is just always reassuring as a backup. Later in this video, I'm also going to give you the best tip for using your phone when you practice. An app that I've used really a lot and I think is super useful for your development as a musician is... No, not that one. It is a bit strange to recommend iReal because I find that it often does as much damage as it does good. So let me just say up front that I'm really not a fan of the MIDI backing track sound of iReal, and I'm pretty sure that it's not good for your swing feel. Another thing that I'm not happy with is that you have the chords for songs, but the melody is not there, and the changes are often not that fantastic. Of course, this is because of copyright that makes it impossible to include the actual song, so you can't really blame the app for that. And still, this is a great app to have for a session or a gig where a song is called that you don't know, or if a student brings something in that you never heard of. And you can make your own harmony and share playlists if you're doing a cafe gig, like opening a jam session or something else with no rehearsal. So for those specific situations, it can be a really great app to have. Now let's take a look at some of the apps that I use pretty much every day. An app that I do use every day is my metronome app. And there are of course a ton of different metronome apps and a lot of them are free. For this app, I actually have the premium version, but I don't think I'm really using it to its full potential. The only thing I did was make a preset so that you enter a tempo and then the metronome is on 2 and 4, but that's not exploiting the app completely. Always having a metronome is really practical, and this one can also go really slow, which is something that I use quite a lot. If there is an app that you really like to use that I didn't talk about in this video, then leave a comment and help us discover it. It's always good to have some new ways of making practice more efficient or more fun. Now, if you know my videos, then you probably guessed that this next app was going to be on the list. Drum Genius is a fantastic app. I cannot say enough good things about it. It's a lot of fun to play with and the different drum loops are extremely well made. It could use a few more straight ahead medium and medium up swing loops, but for the rest, it's really great. And I also use it a lot for the examples in my videos, so you probably already heard it. Another secret weapon that I sometimes use is soloing using the clave section of the app, so that you can solo over a blues in 4/4, but have the metronome in 5/4 or some other rhythmical pattern, just to train your timekeeping and becoming stronger in your internal time. The one app on your phone that is really a game changer for your practice and playing is actually just built into the phone and something you expect to be there. It's the camera. Having a recording device that is this easy to access and this easy to use is something that can really change the way that you practice. If you decide to play a short solo or something else and record yourself, then you can sit back and listen to how it actually sounds. And because you're not playing at the same time, then you can actually tell what needs to change, what is good, what needs work, how do I work on it. And making that a habit is something that can really boost how much you're improving your playing. That this is a video is really just a bonus because it's mostly about the audio, but the way phones work, then recording video is just easier, and it's a shame not to use this because it's really gonna improve your playing. One thing that's very important when you're practicing and also using your phone is that you do so in flight mode. It is completely impossible to concentrate if you get notifications from Instagram, YouTube and Facebook every time I upload a new video. So make sure to go to flight mode and don't get interrupted by my video schedule or whatever your friends are eating for dinner. My top 5 in this video is based on the apps that I use often, that are on my phone, that are part of my practice routine, and that can of course change over time. I do feel that there are some really great apps out there that are on specific topics that you probably also work on, at least in periods, and I also want to recommend those. A great app to get a better overview of the fretboard and practice this in a really practical way is Solo. Solo is an app made by David Beebe and Tom Quayle from the Guitar Hour podcast. This is the only app that I'm mentioning here that does not have a free version, as far as I know at least. But if you're looking to improve your fretboard overview, then this app is worth checking out. David and Tom include some videos showing you how to use it, and there are exercises where you can work through songs, and the app listens if you're playing the right notes. This makes it a lot more fun to practice stuff like this, and certainly worth a try. Hopefully, Tom will come on the channel and talk about the app in the near future. Another app that's great for training your ears, and not just about training intervals, but really hearing notes in a key, which I think is so much more useful, is Functional Ear Trainer. This app has a premium part as well, but you don't really need to get that to learn from it. And the approach taken here is basic and super solid and very useful. There are a lot of things that you can get wrong when you're learning jazz, like getting your practice routine and your priorities right, but if you check out this video, then you can also see how to make the right choices and make your jazz journey not only more fun, but also a lot more efficient.